Hey y'all, it's Beth. Welcome back to my channel. Yesterday we did a 2024 Wrapped. Wrapped. Takes its riff off of the Spotify Wrapped. And we just recapped some of my 2024 to get ready for 2025. I had the pleasure of working with the Washi Tape Shop on that video, and I'm working with them again today to highlight a few more of their washi tapes before we move into the new year. So thank you to the Washi Tape Shop. If you would like to pick up anything from the Washi Tape Shop in 2025, you can save yourself 10% by using the code BEYOND10. That's BEYOND 10. And I am going to do my Spotify Wrapped, or some version of my Spotify Wrapped. So if you are a regular Spotify user, then this might be a thing that you normally look forward to. It is a highlight of the year to look back on your listening statistics. And again, if you are a Spotify user, you were probably a little bit disappointed with Spotify Wrapped in 2024, like I was. And if you're not a Spotify user, you may have even heard some scuttlebutt, some hubbub, some gossip, some frustration from the users who really love the service and what the Spotify Wrapped normally provides to us at the end of the year. Like I said, I'm one of those people that was disappointed. First of all, my Wrapped dropped and I thought, what is this? So there's going to be a little bit of that in here. Y'all are going to look at it and go, Beth, is that what your music taste is? And well, the answer is that is not an accurate representation of my music tastes. No, my music tastes are very wide and very varied. And one of the things that, I don't remember if it was last year or the year before, I know Spotify at the end of the year labeled me an alchemist because I listen to so much and I have so many different types of playlists. And I liked that. I liked being called an alchemist. It sounds cool, right? I can't get this off, y'all. I can't get it off. But yes, and that's the kind of thing that didn't happen this year. I was not given some kind of cool title. The other thing, and this falls on me, this has zero to do with Spotify. Those of you who've been with me for a minute know I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks. Those audiobooks have cut into my music listening time. So while Spotify tells me, let's see if I can find it, that I have listened to 29,822 minutes of music on the platform, and then that is in the top 5%, my numbers are normally in the high 6 digits. So it's very telling to see my music listening drop from about 200,000 minutes to 29,000 minutes. So they had a lot less to work with when it came time to run my statistics. The other thing that I have discovered, there is an app called Spotify FM, Static FM. I will link it in the description box below since I can't remember the name of it. Spotistats? Maybe it's Spotistats. Anyway, I went through the hoops, because you can do this, of exporting my lifetime Spotify listening data. Now, for context, I have friends all over the world. And when Spotify first landed in the United States, you had to have an invitation, like many software companies will do, so that you're not crashing the system and everybody gets eased in, that kind of thing. I had my Spotify account within about 3 hours of Spotify landing in the US. I was waiting for it. I wanted it to get here. I had my invitation. I woke up in the morning. I had my Spotify, and I've had it ever since. I have never looked back. I'm one of those people that is die-hard dedicated to the platform. They're not perfect. They are human. They make mistakes, but it works for me. And it's, my whole history is there. So I exported it, and it takes days. It took it like 4 days for Spotify to send it to me. And then you can upload it into the Spotistats, and it spits out your accurate numbers, not necessarily what Spotify gave you at the end of 2024 or lifetime listens, but what the actual ones are, which is interesting because it didn't match. It was close. We'll say that. Okay, so I have printed these things and I thought I would just stick them in these corners. Again, my listening way down. I knew that was going to be the case. I didn't know it was going to be quite that drastic. I was thinking maybe my listening minutes would be in the 50,000 range. Nope, nowhere close. But I'm not mad about it because books are good for your brain, no matter whether you consume them with your eyes or your ears. So I'm going to try to keep everything on one page. I've got one thing I might or might not put on the page. In fact, now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking maybe I won't. This number is also extremely low. Normally my artists is in like the 5,000 to 8,000 range because again, I listen to a lot of music from a lot of different places around the world, from a lot of different genres. And obviously I was just a creature of habit and stuck to my own playlists. Okay, speaking of my own playlists, my top songs, I did print this out. Let's see if I have them here. Are they in order? They are not in order. All right, how much space do I need? So my top songs is an interesting one because in this Common Planner, every week we were doing the 52 lists project. And twice during the 52 lists project, it said something about creating a playlist. One of them was like a playlist for now, and then weeks later was a playlist of feel-good songs, things that make you feel good. But these songs, all 5 of them, are on the playlists that I think I even titled 52 lists or 52 songs for 52 lists, something like that. And I must have gotten attached. I did say that I was predominantly a rock chick, so I chose to make that playlist of songs that were in the rock genre that had come out in the last year or the last year or two. And so my top song, according to Spotify, is Green Day's Dilemma. And I just thought, well, that's weird. Although, according to Spotistats, it's my number 2. And number 2 and number 1 switch places. And number 2 is Pretty Vicious by the Struts. And that one tracks. If Spotify had said, your number 1 song of the year is Pretty Vicious by the Struts, I would have said, yeah, probably. You know, based on my listening, based on how things went, yeah, I can see how that might be. The Green Day surprised me. Not gonna lie. And then we have Running in Circles by Dead Poets Society. And again, all of them are on the same playlist. So there must have been enough times that I just put on that playlist and went on with my day because that was the situation. Funny enough, none of these artists are in my top artists for the year, which is wild. Like, you would think that there would be at least one of them that would then show up in my top artists. Young in America by Barnes Courtney, supposedly my 4th highest played song, and Read the Room by The Smile is supposedly my 5th most played song. I don't know. I don't know if that's really how it all shakes out, but that's what Spotify says. And, you know, you just never know. So let's talk about top artists, shall we? Since I had sort of this grungy rock situation happening. My top artists. Oh, that's why I didn't get all of that off. There we go. So let me just say my top artist for 2023 is not in this list, which is one of my favorite bands of all time, which is Queen, who I went to see in concert in 2023. And the fact that they're not in here, I find suspicious. Some of the others make sense. The top artist absolutely makes 0 sense. Not that I don't like Pink, because I do like Pink. I don't think I listen to that much Pink. I don't think I listened to that much Pink. Now, there's a very real possibility that I have multiple Pink songs on multiple different playlists, and somehow that's how she rose to the top. I don't know. We're just gonna put it down, and we're gonna hope that in 2025, Spotify does better, because they know they know they need to do better. There was a lot of questioning on how much they let AI take the lead. Foo Fighters, number 2, that tracks. Foo Fighters would be in my top 5. Yeah, for this year. They just would. Thinking about different playlists that I've been listening to, thinking about the fact that I've been leaning into the fact that I'm a rock chick this year. Yeah, that tracks. That tracks. Even I was reading them to Kenny, my oldest, because we always compare our music, even though his music tastes are, he has top songs that are video game songs, and he's in the 0.001% top listeners of Kylie Minogue because she is his diva. So we have some different tastes for sure. But I was reading in mine and I was like, Foo Fighters. He was like, that tracks, Mom. I said, no, yeah, you're right. That tracks. And this is George Michael. And that also tracks. That's one of the ones that Kenny and I share. So we're going to put George Michael right there. Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi used to be my favorite band. For a bajillion years, I was a Bon Jovi girl. I grew up as a Bon Jovi girl with the hair bands. Situation. That entails everything that comes with it. But it has been a while now since Bon Jovi has been my favorite band. My cousin and I have been to see them together, 4 times, 5 times. And then, of course, growing up in different parts of wherever, we saw them at different times. I've seen them in concert more than I've seen any other single artist. But as I've gotten older, can I say Bon Jovi's my favorite band anymore? Probably not. We went through a phase where it was probably 30 Seconds to Mars. And I may have circled back around to it being Queen. Or, and this is now a difficult one, and I'm just going to have to use the phrase classic Linkin Park with Chester, because I don't know about current Linkin Park yet. I haven't made up my mind. All right, so there we go. Top songs, top artists. We have the number of songs, the number of artists, the number of minutes. And other than this really ridiculous thing that they decided to do that relied heavily on their algorithm feeding you your day list. Now, a day list on Spotify is something that they put together for you every day. It changes 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, night. And they say, this time of day, you like to listen to this. And they really lean into their really stupid genres. They're really hyper specific genres. And this time around, they decided to do this whole this is how your music tastes evolved over the year. So I printed it, but I don't think I'm gonna use it. They told me in January I listened to Academia Movie Tunes soundtracks. Sure. March, Molgoth Permanent Wave Rock. Well, yeah, that's where all of this came in. And then October, McBling Cheerleading Pop. And they keep trying to shove that in my face. And that is full-blown Britney and Christina and Lady Gaga, and nothing wrong with that music when I want to listen to that music, but they've been trying to shove it in my face and make me listen to that music. It's like, ooh, you've been listening to too much rock this year. Let's put some pop up in your face and maybe you'll listen to it. I have no idea. I don't know what Spotify's been thinking, but I don't think I want to put this anywhere. First of all, I made it too big. It's really too big. It just is. I mean, I could cut it and be like one here, one here, one here, but I'm just going to go like this because that's how I feel about it. Don't want to look at it anymore, and we're just gonna decorate the rest of this page courtesy of the Washi Tape Shop and some more of their Christmas washi tapes. These ones are shiny, so if you were here yesterday when I was using these, I loved that these were matte. I loved that it was 3 rolls of coordinating characters so you could do a lot of different things with them. These ones are shiny now. It's not that I don't like them, because I do. Let's get this piece off of here. This one specifically is for those of us who are the crazy cat ladies. Look at that. How fun are those little guys? I mean, as a cat mom who finally had to get a pencil Christmas tree. That's one of the really skinny ones, y'all. And I had to get a really skinny Christmas tree so that my really fat cat, Faramir, cause him chunky, him round, we love him for it, but he is not very svelte at all, decided over and over again he had to climb the tree. And he kept bending the branches of my Christmas tree. And finally he bent them to the point where they could not be redeemed. And so I bought a pencil Christmas tree because he can't get his fat ass into the pencil tree. It was a great decision. Okay, so here we have, this goes really long. Hang on. Guys, I can't even get that repeat on camera. Just know that it's probably 2 feet before we come back around to this Christmas booth. There's 2 or 3 different Ferris wheels, different Christmas trees, different Christmas market booths, that sort of thing. And then we have these lunatics. I just love them so very much. There's one in a teacup. There's one in a sweater. Again, we're going a full almost 2 feet before it repeats. And I think as much as I love both of them, they don't coordinate very well. So I might steal, see, this one's got a gingerbread cookie. There's a gingerbread cookie. There's a gingerbread cookie. I might steal some cookies and things, or a really big tree. I don't know about the Ferris wheels and such, so let me try to figure this out briefly off camera, and I'll be back with a sticker. Okay, I think I'm going to use the Christmas trees from the one with the Ferris wheels because they are larger. You know, I always find PET tapes to be tricky. There we go. We've got some Christmas trees. I'm going to put this little guy who looks all perplexed as he's caught up in the lights right there. And this little ornament-eating guy over here. Of course, now they look like ginormo cats next to these trees. And then to use some of the bits and bobs that are on the end, you know, just so I'm not leaving a whole lot of loose ends on that PE tape. Put that there, and we're gonna put that one there. And speaking of furry felines, I'm checking the mic to see if it's picking up on the mic, but Faramir is snoring really loud right now, but I don't think y'all can hear it. Again, in the name of trying to use some of the things that are on the ends, we're going to put in some packages, some Christmas presents. And then we're going to put in some of these snowflake gingerbread cookies. Because, fun fact, I love snowflakes. I hate snow. Like the shape of a snowflake. My kids have always harassed me about my hatred of snow, but my love of the snowflake. I'm trying to decide if I want to put anything in these gaps. I don't feel the need to fill the whole page. And again, Spotify Wrapped is one of those things that sometimes I have a spread, sometimes I have 2 because they give you so much information. And again, we had a disappointing year. You know what? I think that's it. I'm going to call it. I don't think I'm going to put anything down here. I think these 2 kitties will do. We have our top songs, our artists, you know, our other bits of information indicating that this is a Spotify Wrapped. And while it might not have been my favorite one of the year, it is tradition for me to put it into my bullet journal and commemorate it in my year-end spreads. So I definitely wanted to get it in there. I still have plenty of space, even though I did, like back here is some of my misplanning. So I do know that I can be a little more generous with the using of my pages in 2025. This being my first year in a Sterling Ink Common Planner, I was worried about that. But again, if I do fill one up, I can move into one of their notebooks for my daily pages as well. So there we go. There's my Spotify Wrapped. Thank you again to the Washi Tape Shop for sharing these kitties with me. There's one really grumpy one. Hang on, let me see me find him. Look at this guy. Look how angry at the world he is. Like, I love him. I want to use him on something. I just don't know what it's going to be yet. So thank you again to the Washi Tape Shop for sharing part of their holiday joy with me and with you as well. Again, don't forget you can get 10% off with code BEYOND10. If you like this video, or if you were also disappointed with your Spotify Wrapped, give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.